the Silk Road that have switched things up slightly from the two maps that they played on Ascent. It's that dart mid, but its main focus is now to get them up towards Catwalk. No smoke towards the bottom. And there's no info here from Team Oxygen. This is, again, that slow kind of burst style that I was talking about. It's very similar to Team Disguise in the sense that they'll pounce on you in almost a second. Smoke goes out, and a drone to force them away, but I wouldn't be surprised if they end up canceling off of this.
No! They spotted Skuba! It's gonna be the double here, but again, just off of that one piece of information, they could be able to trap the Astra. Now they know where one is. Pwny in the back of sight. Pwny's shifting around, though, able to get one off Jenny. He ends up going down off of the trade. Verno, he did come into heaven a bit fast, and he could be able to get a pick or two. There are 2 players down to red, but instead Oxygen, they're waiting for the retake.
A great recon dart. BlackHeart able to catch 2 players there. Mitch still has that fault line as Verno, I think through the underboards of heaven, is able to find one frag, brings us to a 3-on-3, but BlackHeart a great dink back.
Here comes Verno, has to get some sort of trade back. His teammate is right behind him, so it's just gonna be a bit of a waterfall. MonSi does get a hit on, but not the kill. How does Verno get dim some boy? Now it's a 1v2. BlackHeart waiting for the drop. It's a double drop, and they coordinate it perfectly. Mitch gets the frag, and Oxygen drags back the round.
Such a close pistol round between 2 teams that have a 50-50 pit like the Silk Road. It's a team that's unexpected. There are a lot of teams that I felt made really deep runs that were unexpected. Like, I think it's like Jalib or Jalibu. I don't know. Jilibu, that's what it is. Yeah, they made a deep top 6 run, and so we've seen a lot of crazy runs. I think the Silk Road is one that kind of went under everyone's radar, and now that they're here, you're seeing the talent from them. But I think progressively, as it's gone deeper into the bracket, players have started performing worse. I think most notably KHANARTIST, who in his last 3 series had a .77 KD and a .62 KPR. And on your Jet Duelist, that is not a number you can have. He's -10 in the first kill and first death department, which is also a really concerning number if you're going up against someone like Pwny, who's looked exceptionally good in his last 3 series.
Silk Road, they have players who step up very firmly on defense. Like we said, we need that X factor on attack. They're going to be making their way into B main.
And Pwny, top dog again. Had a great performance yesterday against the Skies. Just gets a light slot. He's going to be here alone. Not too far off. One of those players that we're looking to really pop off. And okay, nice gravel combination from skuba.
10 seconds left.
That'll net him 4, and it looks like already Oxygen taking this nice, clean second round. But yeah, pretty deep pings coming out towards A main. I think maybe that was a call from Mitch to utilize his fault line, but there's no alarm bot here towards mid coming from Oxygen. Somewhere where we typically see it, they are set up for Catwalk instead. And they're gonna have instead Verno jump spotting towards towards bottom mid, seeing what he can spot, but it's a slow start for the Silk Road. And we'll see how these adjustments in this offensive setup come from Oxygen.
Yeah, Mitch hears anything, he's gonna call randyySAVAGE to try to cross Cat with him. And it will be such a bait. Again, there will be no way that they expect. They will check, but there's no way that they expect
my ult is ready.
Breach in that corner.
And it's such a forward alarm bot where typically you see those alarm bots and you can see on the map the pings coming out from the Silk Road in that kind of tree area. But instead, it is such a forward spot on Cat. And they're going to early pop this Cat play. Nanostorm to keep anyone from swinging onto Mitch. And a Hunter's Fury, the 40th second to try and keep them back. But Dim Some Boy with a great frag on the Mitch.
Yeah, Mitch. He just wanted the fight, ends up getting slapped down for 2 players in Cat, ready to swing. They're about to get flashed, and a Hunter's Fury here to try to kill it too. There's still one person shifting around. Pwny in the smokes, ends up getting back into sight, can readjust, and can try to defend now. KHANARTIST around the corner, takes down Pwny. The player who could have done it all does nothing. KHANARTIST, well done.
I think this might put Oxygen in an instance where they're looking at maybe just getting exits, because I think the feasibility of this retake coming through is pretty low, and I don't think they want to save these Bulldogs. You'll have a full buy going into the next, but this round built up, again, slow and progressive from the Silk Road. They work BlackHeart, who was 7 out of 8 on that Hunter's Fury, to getting this A main orb. It was Oxygen who elected to react first. They popped their Hunter's Fury to try and force these players off the catwalk. Didn't work out. Just 1 kill going to Oxygen now. And it will be Verno looking to save this rifle as we head into the 3rd round, where Silk Road, or apologies, the 4th round, where Silk Road, they do net their first here on the attack.
We're gonna keep tracking this throughout the BO3, but just good stuff.
Out towards mid, and a very forward alarm bot towards mid. That's not posted up in the middle where Peaks and Market are. It's right up front where that early contact will be made.
That shock dart almost with impeccable timing. Able to get one off of that, but again, the early position setup from Oxygen. It's left Pwny in a really good position, but he's actually backing out right as a TP happens and an L drone.
And they're going to get aggressive towards Cat after losing the same main control. You still have Mitch, who's been holding on to this fault line. The orb gets tapped and he's going to force these players away, presumably keeping them off of A main. But 50 seconds left, 55 seconds left. Pwny's taking the up back towards mid. It's a late clear here as well from the Silk Road. They had a dart early mid, but do they expect someone else to be here?
He still has the dash. He could go into the edge of the smoke and maybe just try to get one out of this. But Oxygen, we desperately need some rotations. It's only two here towards B. He could shift back towards site.
And these players, yeah, they're falling back. They're playing off this alarm bot, this smoke, this gravel here towards B main. And I don't know if there's a knife here available yet for the Silk Road, but they will make their way onto site. Again, splitting this offensive play with 20 seconds left. randyySAVAGE and Verno, they could put an end to this whole play.
Oh, he wanted to go for the off angle, but Randy gets nothing. 15 seconds left, and Verno's not able to chunk any time off of that. Plant will be able to go in. 3 players only for Oxygen making the retake. 1 person's already up close. Skuba looking for the peek onto BlackHeart, but BlackHeart gets nothing.
And that caught Mitch. That knife caught Mitch. So he's got no util to work back into the site. And these trades are excellent from the Silk Road. Crossfires being held across the site, and Oxygen, they have a couple stars left, but that's really all they're working with now.
It's going to be a long, long star. The smoke actually goes up to give them some more space. And the recon bolt almost used as a bit of a decoy. But this is actually working for Oxygen. Pwny gets the one, but the trade actually goes back immediately. Knows maybe that the one is in the back. The smoke is up to try to distract. Time is ticking away. BlackHeart is not. For
the first time, and in these post plants, they've been wildly successful. And that's their second one, or their third one, apologies, in their second round in a post plant one.
Oxygen, of course, need to make some sort of impact out of this round. You saw some close peaks, but I love this from the Silk Road. I love this call. We just saw, again, a lot of early contacts from the Silk Road. No actual execs, but at least peaks. This is total patience from the Silk Road. No peaks in B main, no peaks in A main. I'm giving Oxygen an inch.
This is similar to how Oxygen struggled against Disguise team, is that they had no information. There was really minimal aggression. And it would give opportunities where you would break this kind of piece of util, that turret in particular. And at this mark, this 40-second mark, they would start to walk up. And this is what the Silk Road have done. And one of the weaknesses that we saw yesterday, the Oxygen side, weren't able to deal with these kind of very fast, out of nowhere pop plays. And randyySAVAGE nearly getting caught. Great fall line, doesn't catch Fletcher. He's able to clean that kill up, and it puts the Silk Road straight onto the B site in a 4-on-5.
There's one person who can have a whole lot of fun here. He has the cross. And up in B main. Again, we've seen a little bit from Fletcher, mainly on the defensive side, but here on the attacking side, could pad his stats a little bit. Pwny goes for the wide swing. Fletcher finally going for something. Finally gets a pixel and finally takes down Pwny. But from behind, there goes Skuba. Full outside control now for Oxygen. They can play exits, maybe even go for this.
Yeah, they're going to pop this Cosmic Divide and
they're
give
going
some boy. He's caught in the middle of the stun, I think, as well for KHANARTIST, who is good enough for one. Great trades there. And puts it in a 1v2. Mitch, low-key could just hold these players in sight, remove both weapons from their hands, and he even gets another ridiculous shot from Mitch, and 1 bullet left. He's done so much damage here, Oxygen.
Time. Contact B, something that... Ooh, Oxygen didn't see it all in the last round. The paranoia almost going crazy. And taking down randyySAVAGE, good reposition. Now the Silk Road can't really do much. They already have someone at least shifting up mid to give them some sort of extra space. A good shutdown from Oxygen.
They're going to try to rework back in towards mid, that alarm bot again. And it's such a much more forward position where I think Mitch can utilize his fault. And if you were back towards Garden, which I think is the purpose of that alarm bot, it allows him to play from Garden and send a fault line straight into market. So the timing is perfect for him on that fault line. But the door will be broken. The Silk Road. Just checking. No one in market, no one close up in B main. This will give them a little bit more room to make this split happen. Dimsum Boy's got the only rifle. And he's working alone in towards B. There's still 3 players here.
He's gonna get spotted by the turret first too.
Mitch just got a fault line straight into market to delay. Buy more time, and he's waiting to send it.
30 seconds left.
Finally, here comes the util for them to go out. Great scale up so far from the Silk Road. This is as close as they could get into sight. But now 2 players in the back of the site. There's no way that they expected good information. randyySAVAGE is just going nuts. Going to be able to get 2 out of it. And there's still one more in the back of sight to try to hold on to this 1v1. Dim Sum Boy in an overall 1v4. And surely there is no way they could get this plant
Out towards mid alone, which is very, very risky.
Oh, incredibly risky now that a knife comes in, but he's good. Doesn't actually catch him. Owl drone picking him away, but we still have a lot of pressure from Oxygen. 1 player going up B main.
Yeah, and Oxygen are instead of working off this lockdown and towards tree and garden area where they want to maintain this control. They have an alarm bot, and I presume a double storm. And I mean, that's just a lot of util dumping from tree. You got as well Mitch there with the aftershock to the fault line. So much util to just protect this part of the map to allow this lockdown. And I think that's what Silk Road are realizing. They wanted to put some light pressure there, see what they control. They have a Hunter Sphere to try and break it.
Turret's gonna spot early for the rotation.
And that contact as well. How do they manipulate off it? They've already moved Skuba over here.
Yeah, but there's no one actually shifting into heaven off of that. That's actually the weirder part for me. I thought them being so close, one of them could at least get that angle, but they just want to play full retake. They have the lockdown.
And you can already see BlackHeart has positioned himself to use his Hunter's Fury, but you have to connect all 3 shots. But instead, it pops early. Are they going to try and battle for this control? They don't need to. They've taken out the lockdown, and that's full site control in a 4-on-5.
Wow, just flipping the script with 1 Hunter's Fury, and the Silk Road got the site for free because of the ulti that they were defending. Now, just got a bit of a game of whack-a-mole over towards heaven. KHANARTIST up close, but he's gone.
A great start to this retake. I mean, this is a Silk Road that have been so good in post plants in this event. And we'll see if Oxygen are willing to work into it. I mean, they're sitting all the way back in heaven, I think, waiting for this fault line to come back. But how do they get in? A grapple to take him out, and now they come out of heaven.
Grapple is well timed, well placed, but even then, Skuba is getting traded out. 3 more players here for Oxygen. They have a great opportunity here as Silk Road. Both of these players are playing behind the smoke. They have the lineup. Neither one is getting the kill. Dim Sum Boy does kill the diffuser. And there's no time.
They take the round back. This round, again, 4 rifles with both monies at stake. Given the fact that, again, Silk Road have been losing 4 players every single round of these post plans. And Oxygen have not had an easy time either. So this round is all pivotal for both economies.
Yeah, you hear 2 Bulldogs, 1 from each side. Early spam. randyySAVAGE is going to have a bit of a good time here, though. Has a breach to help him out. Has the fault line already ready, but not able to capitalize with the frag. Flash comes in. Same thing with the aftershock to potentially get the other angle. randyySAVAGE going for the 1v1 against Fletcher, but both defenders playing the crossfire are gone.
And this is a much more aggressive look from both sides. Oxygen willing to fight these early angles. Verno, big with 1, but that's the B site giving up. And I don't know if you want to call a savior from Oxygen, and it looks like they are with their economy. Operator will be saved right from Skuba. And the Silk Road with a quicker look up towards mid. That recon dart, now they're starting to capitalize off the early defaults they set up.
Of course, over on A. I mean, the 1 round where the KJ util isn't there, the one round where the KJ util is on B, doesn't have the impact that they wanted. They depended on the first contact. But again, finally, the Silk Road end up getting a round where just a bit of a walk-up finally gets something for him, where again, they haven't been doing that. Just been waiting for a contact to then be able to exec. Good patience from both teams, but it's a long-winded battle, really.
And this op being saved for pwny to have a good start where they can close it out with almost a 70% win rate on the defensive side. So this is what we're looking for. A great start from the Silk Road. And on their map pick as well.
As they continue to step up. Finally picking away at A main. They were pretty much looking at... It's just a long game of tug-of-war. Trying to take back A main. The first pick that we would usually see the Jet, not there. They don't even take the angle. They're just trying to refight it. There goes the reflash. Back from Oxygen. Doesn't find anything. Stats are basically 50-50. Oxygen, 59% defensive win rate. Silk Road, about a 53 attack-sided win rate. It's even and it's long-winded. We're getting into it finally on A. It's an empty A site.
pwny's positioning will allow these players on Oxygen to work back in towards Catwalk. He had the up towards bottom mid, but that gives Silk Road this entire site. This round isn't entirely out of the question. Oxygen with a rifle, pistols, and now he's using a lockdown. They've even committed a cosmic divide, a turret in front of it as well. You can't fight this Silk Road. You have to back away now.
Once they get it on site, if they get enough positions, enough predictable positions, they still have the Hunter's Fury. Here we go. Hunter's Fury going in for the corners, and there's one person detained under. Mitch getting one, Verno with two off the Hunter's Fury, and they know that one's detained. They got him. Oxygen. They put everything into that round, and they end up coming out of it winners.
And they do it almost perfectly, like the util and the ultimate setup combination. Cosmic
But early on, we're going to see almost the same thing for the last round.
I think they're going to finish here over towards the B site. I mean, you see the early dart and the knife as well to clear market. And you're going to have the lockdown as well to work back in towards main. But this is where Oxygen are fighting. They don't want this lockdown to have any impact.
They're finally going to make that move, but they just need this contact. Good stuff off the Vandal. They still have no idea that the op is here. Pwny didn't want to step off the angle, but nobody peeks. Going back over towards mid. Silk Road can go anywhere still.
I wouldn't say anywhere here. I think this is Oxygen having a really big advantage, now controlling B main, and as well having a turret in towards Garden and a peek in towards A main. This is perfect for Oxygen. They're denying all the main focal points of this lockdown. And they know how critical this round is for the Silk Road, given their economy. This is a must-win round to keep a bye moving into the next. So Oxygen put all their cards on the table. Now they've backed away from A main. Now that Pwny's gone deep, now that mid has been re-cleared, they know where this hit is coming.
Breach is going to come in at a good time. Still has the fault line, still has the flashes. TP is going to go into wine. Doesn't spot anything. And only the util begins to spill up into A. You have KHANARTIST on the front side. Nobody else has swung just yet, but Khan starts it off well with the first shot onto Mitch. And the second person in the back also goes down to Khan. Khan with a 2K. 3 players are gone. Oxygen, they had the advantage in B main. They had the information, but just doesn't get the rotation in on time. There's only one person here on this side of the map.
And it's another save here from Oxygen.
Has to be.
With this kind of back and forth that we've seen between both of these teams, you're holding on to the operator, which, by the way, Pwny has been holding on to for 3 rounds in a row. And they've lost 2 of those rounds. But Silk Road taking a 6 and even holding on to that lockdown, electing not to use it there on the A site. It's a great entry from KHANARTIST too. This match, this map, has played really, really well. One of the guys that we needed to step up here on the Silk Road has done so drastically in comparison to what he performed in his last couple of series. Out towards mid. Early fault line looked to be towards Cat and top mid, or even leaning a little bit towards A main. It's a rolling thunder that they're playing with here on the post. They've set up fully on this A site, giving Pwny free range of mid and getting aggressive in towards being a big switch up from Oxygen. And one of the few times that we've seen randyySAVAGE play towards this A side with his util.
Yeah, it's a true util dump that will allow at least one player, of course, Pwny, to rotate back, but Silk Road hasn't seen any of it.
And they're leaning back in towards B. That's where the rolling thunder is. So you've got util dump after util dump on both sides, and it's how quick Mitch reacts to this kind of play. He knows the lockdown will be used in this round, but whether it's for the post is another matter.
How can
the aftershock in prime position, and he has rolling thunder already. I think as soon as he hears a lockdown, that's when this gets queued, or if any contact is made, and nobody, a smoke as well to cover up that recon dart all the way back towards B main, but a last second tag.
Hopefully Verno doesn't get hit.
Perfectly timed.
Curving in, gonna be able to get one, still another one dazed, but KHANARTIST is behind a smoke and safe, but 2 players are gone off of that one play.
And it's 20 seconds left. They have to make this re-hit happen, and Pwny has already arrived to the scene with the operator. There goes another. Verno stepping up huge as Pwny finds one on the op, and it's just Art the Fletcher. An exceptional hold from the side of Oxygen puts them tied at 6-6 into the next half.
Switching sides.
I was about to ask, is that even replicable? But it's 6-6. We're at the half, and my word, finally, a momentum shifting round from Oxygen. We had a lot of one-off rounds, from Oxygen a bit earlier on. Just taking advantage of the fact that they ended up winning the pistol too. But that one, finally, they get something organized. Not even a retake. Off the defense, Verno steps up. We need to see more off of this attacking side now.
Placing swamp grenade.
And I think immediately the numbers jump to mind. Silk Road put up a really strong first half to have a 53% win rate in their attacking side. And to go 50-50 is really, really strong for Silk Road. And now on this defensive side, where they're a lot more dominant at around 70% defensive win rate, this is where they can shine. And we'll see how Oxygen respond, who they themselves have a really strong attacking win rate side, 70% as well. So
Yep.
we go neck in the second half.
Literally the exact same stats for attacking and defense for both of these teams. It's great. Silk Road, they are going to have to back out potentially, though. They see the star in front of them. They know the danger. Not going to be able to peek out with it. Aldrone trying to get something through the wall, and they almost actually get a ping off of it. They have all this control now. MonSi just with a random shot ends up getting one.
Yeah, through the smoke as well, just spamming in that B main entrance. pwny trying to put pressure
Spike is up.
and keep these players from hopping on as soon as the spike gets planted. They even check back the flank, clearing out Skuba. Now with 3-on-5, and these three players, randyySAVAGE, Verno, and pwny, have to watch different angles. Two towards door, and Verno, who's played exceptionally well so far on this map, is tasked with holding all of heaven.
Yeah, that's some great info.
Not hit by the paranoia.
No, at least three players. Oh, at least three players up in heaven. He knows it, but it doesn't even matter. The paranoia through from Fletcher does it all, and now pwny can't get anything done. Silk Road, good start.
I love how we trade back these pistol rounds. First half for Oxygen, second half for Silk Road.
It's a theme.
And I think Chun and Omen, where he can be extremely strong as an anchor, it'll be exciting to watch him here and how he deals with Oxygen's pressure.
Oh, and I was about to say, more importantly, he's alongside the KO, who has all of this suppressive util, all this information-seeking util. Speaking of information, they got all of it. All 5 players spotted by the knife, and they have to go back.
It was a deep dart as well from BlackHeart, sent all the way outside of B. And now with this kind of instant silence towards A, that will keep his shift back, drone out towards mid. He's still going to lean towards this A side. B is kind of weak, but for Silk Road right now, it's about maintaining this control and a side where they truly shine on. Getting these first 2 rounds, allowing yourself to build up economy on that bonus.
Yep.
It would be super nice.
Oh, yeah. That'll be great. KHANARTIST. Saw a lot from him on the defensive side of this map. Didn't expect a lot of him on the attacking side. Thank gosh we did.
30 seconds left.
But he might be in a pivotal position to shut this all down. Both players are in the back of sight. Could be able to shift around, but KHANARTIST has the unpredictable position, but had to dash away because the info. MonSi in the middle of sight has Jenny shifting around, able to get one. No damage from Fletcher. Fletcher has to get a kill here, and indeed does. Player over towards Heaven to try to help out. The Stingers are singing. The Silk Road do get an 8th, but it was just a save there, essentially. They saved
pwny this space.
And you just wanted to share to be in that 1v1, right? To be able to get a headshot, the Wild West type thing. But over towards mid, he might get into a 1v1 very soon. They have the Astra slowly scaling up and has been able to maintain an angle towards market. If anyone peeks, but what on earth is that? pwny comes flying in, spraying at Dim Sum Boy. He's down to 6 HP, but they have the sight.
And that's removed the alarm button as well.
Gun here.
A lot of space opened up here now for Skuba as he's still on that late lurk. A lot of threats are available now here, and it's MonSi who doesn't check. Skuba given a chance now to creep on up. 4 players from Oxygen.
Oh, there's no one.
Into the backside, and Skuba surely gets one here. Surely takes him
He
out.
has to hit it. There's one coming up from behind too. There's a jet in spawn, but that just might be a save setup too. Skuba shutting down any potential for this take. The Silk Road. This just has to be frustrating. An anti-eco turning into a W to their opponents.
And it's KHANARTIST who's saving just the operator. Has to get away with this one. And Skuba's already hunting. They know almost where he is, and you can see 5 players are starting to swarm.
They've shut down every other angle. Surely is he?
I'm gonna buy back here, holding just onto that operator from the last.
It's technically just gonna be one here in the middle of a beat, but they have a whole lot of utility to try to cover upstairs. But BlackHeart, a sheriff in a dream. Look how diligent this is, too. Gravel in the back, not a single person peeking, just putting in all of this contact. And Knife's gonna come in, too, and spot him. No one's on the other side of the map to try to be able to give themselves that space. They still did enough to pull in some rotations.
And I like that from Oxygen, both the stun and the grab well to force both of those players on B to back up into sight. You even had as well as smoking towards defender spawn. So there was a lot of lack of information, just that turret they were playing off of. So whether they were pressing B or not. And then they re-exec. They cut noise, giving back the space and allowing Silk Road to think they've rotated. And now Oxygen knocking on their door. 5 players here. Smoke's charged up again, and nothing to stop them in the front. That paranoia only connects onto one, and while it slows them down temporarily, they can still get out.
This is going to be difficult. Fletcher in a tough spot. Gonna have to crossfire their teammate. And again, everyone is here for Oxygen. They have a lot of pixels to aim on, and it could have been easy. It could have been a few free frags, but it just doesn't happen. The defense, though, still only down to 2, and the pistols just aren't enough. You do get Dim Sum Boy taking away the 2 on site, but there's no way Verno. There's no way Verno can get this right. The Odin spraying away, and even it's gonna be an early peek. Actually smoke it off.
Out of my way.
They might put in a lot of util over towards mid to try to get a contact, but Oxygen, they're going to play this round real slow. Spike back in their spawn, looking to make some contact in A main.
And the knife catches as well, Pwny here, so they know where the Blade Storm is focused up, and I think that's where the main point of focus for Silk Road would be, because Pwny is the main spearhead, especially on Ascent when you need a big entry to break these KJ setups, to break these sight lines on A.
Here.
And similar in that last one where we wanted him to dash on B, but he got caught up. So I think this is where the focus comes back. You can see 2 players posted up and up with an operator. MonSi not too far away as well on this KO. He can support his team with flashes and nades.
Just a good play call, though, from Oxygen.
Set point up here.
Yeah, so much mystery in a round like this. And Pwny just clearing out information, clearing out the space. There's no one full committing to this other than him. And really just a moth to the flame, right? Attracting all of this attention. Everyone else rotating into B all out of nowhere. There's 2 people here, though. The crossfire could be good for a few. It was only good for 2. Pwny on the other side, almost able to get a rotator, but it's going to be an even 2v2.
It's ridiculously winnable here as well from Oxygen. Rolling Thunder picked up here now from Mitch. And randyySAVAGE is an alarm bot early towards stairs. This allows them to focus fully on towards lane, and Mitch to just sit and wait with this Rolling Thunder.
Yep, Rolling Thunder in. 1 kill would get the lockdown too. Don't really know if they'll need it, but this is going to be fun. Low HP on both of these last 2 Silk Road players, and Rolling Thunder will come in and cover both sides easily. They're not even dropped yet. They have to drop in while stunned, or wait, of course, for the stun to be gone. Here comes the flash. Counter util again from the breach. KHANARTIST not able to go through. No one able to tap the spike just yet. randyySAVAGE around the corner looking for a spray. Mitch is the one that ends up getting it through the box. But Fletcher finally gets the frag. But this is why we were focused.
The all-seeing eye, but the buy is so weak that anything can happen. This is North America. Anything happens in ecos. But for now, Oxygen off of that timeout, taking things exceptionally slow. I think trying to develop.
Grounded.
And knowing that this round is kind of obsolete in the sense that we're not going to be running to their base defaults. Let's try and think for the next round after when they have their full buy-in. How do we utilize that lockdown on Hunter's Fury? Put those in a combination when there's a null coming on the other side. A lot of factors coming into play as we move into this next round is Oxygen, again, slowing things down, not willing to risk anything in this anti-eco.
Yeah, every kill here is pivotal, of course. The later on we get in this game, the more the ultis become more and more important. In the Silk Road, they haven't charged up either their Hunter's Fury or their lockdown just yet. Those 2 players are alive. They're going to be heavily hunting at this point, hoping that the Omen doesn't get any of these kills. Yeah. But it's finally the plant. They're going to go for this.
We'll see. I'm surprised they don't actually have Skuba go for the planet set. I mean, Randy already had his ultimate online, but I think we're focusing on, again, the main 3 ultimates of Oxygen, which is that Rolling Thunder, the Hunter's Sphere, and the Lockdown. And I imagine Juvenile, the coach, ex-TSM coach as well, ex-TSM Academy, apologies, how you want to incorporate that into this. BlackHeart, okay, has picked up a rifle here, but I think that's really all she wrote. And now that we focus back into this next round, pop it. I think they're trying to bait it out. I love this early pressure from Oxygen. They want to bait out this ultimate, but MonSi doesn't bite.
Info. MonSi doesn't know exactly how many people are out there. Does hear a few steps. But again, it's only 3 players here. Not a full commitment whatsoever. Just trying to pop the null command and doesn't do it. Didn't bite. As they rotate.
A little bit off of that dart. And 3 players already in position. I think Dim Sum Boy is ready to fall back in towards spawn to play with this lockdown. But I don't know if he wants to pop it for the retake, if he wants to pop it to slow the push. I think this is an instance where you pop it for the retake. You give it up completely, the B site. And Oxygen, off of the Cosmic Divide they picked up earlier. There's that other lockdown, but there's Dim Sum Boy. He's got one up the Nano Swarm. And now things have slowed down for Oxygen. 40 seconds left. And that lockdown will finally be broken. That gives his team the opportunity to get into sight.
30 seconds left.
It's just going to be a fresh round, essentially. Everyone from Silk Road have been waiting patiently back in their spawn. It's going to be a 5v4. There is one, however, sitting in B main. That's a good angle from Mitch. Able to knock it down to 4. No information now for the rest of the round, but they do have the null command finally. randyySAVAGE around the corner, looking for a big cross-up. Gonna be able to get Fletcher. Will they be able to get KHANARTIST as the rest of their team goes crazy? Dim Sum Boy with another kill. Now it's only down to 1. randyySAVAGE has to dance. A 1v2 for the cream of the crop. Has a little bit of utility. Only the one Nano Swarm doesn't get anything. The spam doesn't get anything. Needs to get a headshot here. It's not getting
the angle,
but he finally gets the kill. Dim Sum Boy has to defuse. randyySAVAGE rises to the top.
How does he do it? All it takes is one reset, and you've lost this entire map.
This is why they're putting in so much weird effort into this round. You saw the shotguns, and we could see some weird angles here. Silk Road, they want any sort of gap to bring themselves back into this round.
But I think the way Oxygen have played this map has been perfect on this second half. The Silk Road have been so dominant in their site holds, kind of banking off of Fletcher on this A site, that Oxygen have completely avoided the A site. They've been focusing mainly over here towards B, and they're playing it cautiously here, knowing that the Silk Road are going to play something cheeky. Respect this Blade Storm. Now, don't walk into a trap where you lose 1 by 1, where you give up these picks to just deagles and random shorties and corners.
Oh, the paranoia in! pwny getting trapped, and KHANARTIST does end up getting the frag, but they know exactly where that paranoia came from. Will they be able to TP, though? Yes, they do.
On such low HP, though, Fletcher just barely getting out, but I think the heavy hit is that they've just lost the Blade Storm. This round, the odds, yes, it's a 4v4, but without that Blade Storm, your odds significantly decrease.
Alarm bot out.
It's going to be just the Sova and also a cross up in mid,
30
potentially.
seconds left.
Finally pull up a smoke to the gate as we close. Yeah, okay. BlackHeart. He might just be aiming for B main, but no, he finally goes for the cross. The shotgun gets one, but it's only one. 18 seconds left. Will Dim Sum Boy get into sight? Yes, he will. Can he delay? 15 seconds left. Dim Sum Boy with a headshot. Oh! Again! Connects the dots. It might have just done it. 8 seconds left. Verno scrambling, looking for a pixel. 5 seconds left. Dim Sum Boy has got him. No chance now in the 1v1. As thrifty as...
Refresh. But it's KHANARTIST who has an op sitting up top of B here.
Dim Sum Boy with a dry peek. There's a second person with him. They're just getting a whole lot of damage, but don't get the frags. There's nobody over towards mid, but they do have the alarm bot. They finally get the peek, but KHANARTIST goes down. Do still have the man advantage. Pressure is mounting. 3 players are here, though.
And we'll see how exactly Oxygen plan to adjust, because they've been able to pull Fletcher back over.
They know there's 3 here.
Yeah, forcing a 3-1 split. And MonSi has to play a lot more cautiously. He's had such a sleeper of a first map that I'm worried. You know? You don't play a lot into the KDs of players and maps, but for MonSi, it's in at like 4 and 13. It does get a little bit worrisome. They have found a pick here to break down the numbers for 3v2.
Oh, Verno!
Verno, spot of the head! Verno, so clean!
Fletcher! He's still alive! Stands tall and actually equalizes the round! A 1v1! And that might have just actually done it, because look at this, 30 seconds left. Time enough for the KO to get in sight. Look at this angle.
No stars. He's got flashes as well, and they're creeping right above him.
Oh, he heard him. And definitely now sees him. Has no idea exactly where he is. Could be left side boathouse. Could be in the corner. It dodges him completely. No, he doesn't actually go into short. I thought Skuba was going to do the big wrap, but MonSi calls him out. 11-10. Silk Road, they survive their own mini tragedy.
And it's been so many 1v1s that we saw in the first half transition now to the second again.
But no one's peeking just yet.
It's a very forward alarm bot here as well. They're prepared for the fact that KHANARTIST might get rushed, so the alarm bot in a much deeper position this time.
It's a reposition alarm bot, if anything. They can go back into market. They can play that crossfire after the first pick.
I think it's mainly just in case that he gets contact. Alarm bot, vulnerables, allows at least one to swing. What the hell was that shot?
From where? How?
He's all the way in stairs. He's all the way in stairs and he gets a kill. Well, that's an instant 4v5. In Silk Road, they have the advantage, but they've just lost it from Skuba.
Yeah, Paranoia is going to hit 3, though. Fletcher can go nuts. 2 players. They're about to get unflashed, and the Cosmic Divide is going to come up. No one else here on A, but Fletcher stays safe.
There's a lockdown here available as well. They've dropped an alarm button in preparation towards Garden here, Oxygen, to try and prepare for that play. And already, one is looking in towards it. Lockdown in towards Heaven instead. Gives a little bit more space. And the Cosmic Divide in front, this becomes harder because one has just gone online. Mitch is rolling Thunder.
They respect it. They roll away, but the Rolling Thunder is here, ready and raring to go. Just for the plant, but they still keep delaying. They still have an aftershock too, if they opt to use it, but the Rolling Thunder...
Rework back towards Cat, rework back towards Cat as well.
It's a good angle, but the smoke is up, and nobody's actually defusing right now. The Rolling Thunder still hasn't come out. There we finally go. Oxygen pulls it out, but one of their players ends up getting stunned. Skuba with a double.
He's on the spike. He's on the spike. He's on it.
They got it. Player goes down. BlackHeart trying to defuse, but the score is...
How much is they're charging it up? We'll see how close he is. 2 of 8, and 1 off of lockdown for randyySAVAGE.
Oh, was randyySAVAGE dead at the end?
Alarm bot out.
I don't think so. I didn't see a randyySAVAGE death in the kill feed, so I don't actually think he was dead, Gus, but that might just be me.
Moving on anyways, they won't have the lockdown for now. They could definitely fight for an orb, but it will be a big one as they're all over towards A. There's going to be 3 players here. They do have the power of the knife to try to get that information to shut down that early util.
Get out of my way.
Smoke pulled away to keep them off the angle, and it will be a look for this lockdown. If they want to put this pressure, I think they're going to have randyySAVAGE play for it in the post. Hunter's here to try and give some space, and Pwny up top goes down to MonSi. And BlackHeart finds one of the Hunter's tree. There's still time to recollect. It's Skuba and Verno, the key players in this map that are still alive. And they have 2 ults to work with. Silk Road have just used the only one they had left.
What?
It's a re-hit today. But
Is it
Skuba's
really?
pulled away. Skuba has pulled all the way back towards mid.
What is the plan here? Has to just be that hard bait with only 3 players left. There is no way you expect a fake here. And the Hunter's Fury from the same exact angle? Yeah, there's no way you expect that.
There's absolutely nobody here on the B site. It's Skuba who gets forward, who can take the space back, close the door, and there's already one in rotation. He might be a little bit late. Skuba just right to the fight. And they're going to play the 5-on-3 retake. I think this is a smarter call here from the Silk Road. You have the numbers.
30
And this is your best chance at winning it. Turret's going to allow him to cross. Won't get spotted by it, and they silently walk up. This is ridiculous calling from Mitch. Ridiculous play from Skuba.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. They still have this full control, not a single person from Silk Road.
And Skuba is going forward. He's tucked into market instead, and they're holding the only angles they can come from. That being spawn here towards market.
No one's coming mid.
Who's played so lights out, is going to have to try and step up. They're both doubling up in market where they can swing back in here with randyySAVAGE.
This is it. There's 3 players here. Skuba going to be able to get the first, make it the second. But the trade from around the corner doesn't come in. It's now a 3v1. randyySAVAGE has to do it all and can't do anything with it. The Silk Road have pushed it to overtime.
And such a successful hold at the end. Up against the face of.
He's back over towards that mid side because Oxygen, they have a double peek over towards market. I've been looking for something early, but can't do anything off of the knife.
And no alarm bot there mid as well. They're going to be playing that in towards Cat, so they're putting a lot of focus on this mid-market area where if Silk Road have focused, at least in their attacking half, the later couple of those rounds where they set up the default with that insta-dart mid and that knife towards market, now they're starting to enact on those early defaults from all the way back in that first half. Fault line ready here for Mitch as that turret makes contact. And it will allow here, at least randyySAVAGE, to take that swing. It doesn't overextend. Doesn't want to give his life up just yet.
randyySAVAGE is so tempted here. KHANARTIST taking forever to take away that turret. But it's only going to be Khan. Everyone's backing out towards tiles. Not really. What is going on?
Alarm bot. They're going back up towards Cat into this alarm, but dart towards A main gives at least full clearance for skuba. But they're so separated apart. skuba's going to have his own fight, and so is Verno here on the A site. This is a little sketchy.
But this is too cheeky. I don't think they expect skuba where he is. We haven't seen a lot of successful wine plays really ever. This is finally one that could happen. There goes the peaks. Verno waiting for the cross up on site. Able to get two out of it.
That's ridiculous.
Finally pops. Able to get two out of his cheeky spot.
And Verno standing tall on the site. 2 critical kills alongside skuba. I was so worried to take the op here. Had a great start, but it slowed down like ridiculously. He's at 10 and 20 right now, Gus.
But the op is in a good position. Be able to get that first contact. No way! randyySAVAGE
That's
escapes like a bandit.
And that's 10 and 21 now for him. And now they're going to try and re-aggress in Randy. He's just so aware. He'll rework back in towards B main. Silk Road think they've pushed them out, but the pressure towards mid, that owl drone they just heard, now the focus pivots back between all 4 players.
Whoa, what is this? 2-player swing coming out from Cat. The spread.
What?
Verno lands on his feet and he gets both with the final few bullets, and now A is empty.
And that could literally just be it. A 4-on-2. Verno's gonna just risk his life, to be honest. I would risk his life too here.
Yeah.
He is on a heater. And the spike goes down here.
Oh,
Mitch,
no, he gets spotted
they've
too.
got all the util. They know exactly where these players are coming from. The shock dart, the recon bolt was already used. And this is looking disastrous for the Silk Road.
Waiting for the smoke to go down.
So much time.
They're giving themselves a chance at least. They're waiting for it. Verno's down to 9 HP. Like you said, he could just push himself out there, but it's not happening. He keeps himself in an off angle, and Fletcher does finally find him. All 3 are under, though, and it's the perfect trap. As Oxygen.
Here.
I was expecting something fast.
Cutting through. Here.
Looks like they're just letting pwny set up first, so they could end up taking holes by themselves. Here they end up going, isolating 2 players in the back. The knife setup is so good. Same thing with the recon bolt. There's so much util here. Coordination is good, but finally the Yoru pops. BlackHeart in the back looking to defend, and he actually gets the big kill. The rotation has come in too. The delay is good from Silk Road. A 3v3 now. randyySAVAGE and Mitch take it all.
Quirky he is on Yoru. If he's got like, if he's just one of those nuances that TP's randomly that just confuses the heck out of players. But you're on a more technical agent. And I don't know how much impact he's going to have if it's going to be anything similar to that last map. And you just saw it. He didn't have any effect in this round.
Well, actually, the pistols, they end up getting 2 kills out of this. We'll just focus up on the fact that there's one more in the back of sight. Fletcher dancing around a little bit, trying to get some sort of impact. They actually might not have any idea that he's here, but maybe they saw the bite, and they saw the wall too. They end up getting him. 3 players survive once again. Only 2 of those SMGs taken away.
We haven't. And there's a reason why we haven't. pwny.
Well, okay, that was banter. Okay, sir.
Banter, yeah. Banter until everyone starts to think, oh my god, pwny's the next yay.
Well, let's see it then. Let's see it. pwny, can he already start off by being a better fragger than him?
Great statement again, MonSi. Nice flash and a quick double peek. I'll bring us back into the actual game. BlackHeart has the shocks to deny this plan, but likes to give it to randyySAVAGE. Now we're 3-on-4. Late Kirk as well, back in from skuba. He's caught off guard, and now it's just down to 2 as Randy. He's evening the numbers out a little bit, but he's been spotted.
There's only one in the back of sight, too.
What a
and they know
shot.
exactly where he is because the
What
yellow
a
drone.
shot!
What? Verno, what a swing to help out. They absolutely needed Verno there. It's a 2v1 in a nowhere. BlackHeart still has the Vandal, could be able to get 1-by-1 here. They're both
God,
in the same
Verno!
angle, but Verno is just better. Savage essentially stuck in the middle of sight. And now Oxygen. They see the economy of Silk Road. I mean, surely something cheeky could happen in the round, and they just hold on to the brakes a little bit. Wait for any contacts, and indeed they get one. KHANARTIST pops out, dashes away, but it's barely any information. Everyone from Oxygen is in a different angle on this map, and you might even get the peek out from the Yoru to try to take down MonSi. A site could be there.
I know exactly.
And the thing is, you talk about info and how little it is. It's a lot of info, but it doesn't matter because Oxygen are playing with the better rifles. They are willing to sit back and know that Silk Road, and I always say when you're in a disadvantage, you have to push and create your own advantage, and that's what Oxygen were looking for, and that's what they got here towards A main. Verno just making so much noise as a threat that he is, and now that'll work them into the B site now.
A lot easier to throw a fake and around where the other team literally has to invest all of their guns to make something work. The all or nothing type strat. Silk Road, they have a couple players back over towards Arches. There's one flanking at the moment. This is really just a good time for Oxygen to get the right players who need ultis on this front line right now. Just farm up those frags. And indeed, that's what they're doing. Verno needs a couple of points still, but they finally found MonSi. Skuba spraying away. And KHANARTIST. Oh, okay. All right. Little cheeky collat onto Skuba and Randy.
Only a fifth of the way to the amount of kills he had on a set, so let's see if he keeps it up. He's now a third of the way there.
KHANARTIST having an incredible game, clearly. We're only 4 rounds in. But for his opportunity, waiting for a pixel. Good patience from KHANARTIST. Lets the decoy go through, picks up the first, and still has 2 players behind him to try to help. MonSi with a wide swing, able to get a big kill onto Mitch. They can still revive him, but MonSi is still holding. 5 bullets left trying to escape the Yoru, but the Yoru is finally going to take him down.
Missed shots from BlackHeart. Those are huge opportunities gone.
The revive is there. They need
that gives him the res. A 3-on-3. The shock does so much damage, though. And they put damage onto 2 of these players still. Oxygen have been in worse positions just in this map alone.
Good TP. They needed that TP. Finally getting on the side.
Shock.
Another shock dart. The second shock dart nailing pwny. BlackHeart alone, just not dying from stairs, has made this round happen.
Granted, he almost gave this round up by letting him get the res. 2-on-3. And there's a rework back here towards mid. There's plenty of time for this wrap to happen. But we'll see what Mitch can find on 32 HP. Nobody is looking his way. That's the thing.
30 seconds
They think someone could have gone into halls with BlackHeart looking back towards bridge.
I was about to say, surely randyySAVAGE tries to get a contact before that peek from double doors comes in. Wants to distract a little bit, but DimSum is still very much watching.
Yeah, DimSum has got a head on a swivel here. Mitch Shirley.
What?
Randy wins the fight, and now they don't know where Mitch is. Flash comes out, and surely they know where he is. Now Fletcher up top, and not enough. First round on the board. And I think it's more important for Silk Road to win this purely because it's 4-1. You lose this, you're going to go to Nico. Things start to run away where you're at 6-1. And you're already at the quarter mark of this game. An early knife. One of the first knives that we've seen actually get thrown deep in towards A. They do at least get the ult orb. For Verno. A slower start. A wall that'll get so much control as they want to work up towards mid. And that has brought the attention here from both of these players. MonSi, BlackHeart. And now Fletcher a third to look back in towards double doors.
And they still have that jet watching mid, though. Really is just precautionary. Making sure nobody's coming up double door. In terms of the rest of mid, need KHANARTIST to step up. And oh my word. Yeah, there's no way he expects a pixel from the front of the wall there. And Oxygen, they're not committing to anything right now. They're still scaling.
And they force KHANARTIST off of the tunnel. And they've elected to send the Yoru straight in towards the A site, knowing that the op is no longer there to pick them off as the wall is down now.
Dude, they
and
spot
pwny
Fletcher.
finding a lot of information. He's forcing these players back. Fletcher cannot fight in front of this wall in fear that he gets wall banged, or at least spammed through. And now another access point denied. They have to work the left side of this site.
Yeah, absolutely. The Viper's Pit is just going to pincer them.
BlackHeart!
What more can he find? He hears Verno! Surely he might have heard Verno, but anyways, the 4v4 happens. Mitch holding on to the other side of sight. Again, KHANARTIST trying to go up from mid, still trying to hold on to the off, but still has the knives to try to help out in the middle of the cloud. pwny going big on the outside, covering the spike, and there is no way these two can come out from mid. The Viper's Pit shutting them down.
And they know with the economic disadvantage that they're at after this round, they need to save these rifles, especially the operator from KHANARTIST. And I could hear you question what this Viper's Pit was for. It's blocking off that mid avenue and enforcing those players, like you said, a funnel into the other set where you can set a TP directly into back site. And it just flips the entire defensive look towards exactly where pwny is. And like out of the 10 times he will send that TP, like 3 of them, he'll actually commit to it. And it's a threat. That kind of uncertainty that Yoru brings can be threatening. There's one of them. There is one of them.
Perfect! Again, capitalizing off of the recon bolt. The TP comes in so huge. And not only that, but another TP to skate on away to maybe even get the trade on a BlackHeart. But the kill comes in from his teammate. Oxygen now with full control of mid, making their way up tunnel 2.
And you think about it, all
they need to do something crazy to get back into this round.
2 TPs was it. That was all they used to get up towards mid in full scale. They took out one, they removed the operator. DimSum Boy's now been spotted with it. They know 2 players are here. It's just a free A site. But MonSi has got pretty decent timing, but no, the neural back spots him out and he's been picked up. Now Silk Road. They're gonna try and save again, I think. Why does Mitch only have a classic?
I don't know. Why does he only have it?
Round after losing both weapons in the last. And Mitch looking for anything on this operator, any aggression, but it's a Viper's Pit that's popped instead. They see nothing walking down towards mid, and this time around it's pwny in a different default spot. He's been exploring the map, and this time he goes in towards halls, where he's found a huge gap in this defense.
Yeah, there's nobody getting a single contact here. pwny. He wants to help out his team make his way out mid.
And if
certainly
he fake TPs, it'll bring, if they spot where KHANARTIST is with the operator, which I think they will with, no, they don't spot him with the drone. All it would have taken was a fake TP to bring pwny out of this position. Apologies, KHANARTIST, but he's good to find one down towards mid on a Randy.
He's expecting it, he's peeking! Almost a big shot from Khan. pwny needing to escape still. The rest of his teammates waiting out towards mid. You still have the Viper's Pit sitting up in front of B main, but it's only one other person outside of that.
I'm gonna split back. There's nothing really here that can allow
30 seconds
any support on this site. TP back in here as well from pwny. They're gonna try and put pressure and draw rotations, which they have done.
Good fake.
And there's more pressure being applied from Verno towards the bottom of that Viper's Pit.
DimSum Boy is just going to be chilling here. He has double trip in front of him. Still has the camera ready, but no crossfire. He just might go down to this wide swing. He's going to get headshot. No, the one spot from DimSum Boy. He wanted to play time, but couldn't spot anyone. Man advantage.
And it's the first contact here towards mid. Verno hears the footsteps. He's got a second here as well with Skuba. Fletcher
Light work.
must win this fight, and he does it. Verno has had the better of everyone in this series, continuing his form from the last, forcing a save once more out of Silk Road. And they're going to be looking to pick up the operator, which they have now. And Oxygen, 7-1. These 2 rifles are critical. Again, this is a reset loss, a reset round after they lose it. They are only holding on to the operator now. Things just got a whole lot worse here for the Silk Road.
I like this angle. If he actually holds it, oh my word, MonSi could get shocked from B main too, but ends up nailing the shot onto Skuba. pwny with the...
But if they can't pull it off, I have to say this first half has just gone the complete other way of Oxygen. A dominant first half start in Silk Road. They're running out of opportunities to kind of close the gap and at least make this half competitive.
I mean, the most competitive ending that we could possibly get here is like an 8-4 or a 9-3.
If we're lucky, a 7-5 off of this.
Right.
This one round.
If we're very lucky. But they might make themselves lucky. They're giving themselves a chance here. A triple swing back into A main. They're going to get all of this information, but they have no one in a good position to rotate.
Rotation? Yeah, there's no one here to quick swing back towards B. There's only a singular camera, and BlackHeart there to contest.
Yeah.
And Randy, he'll know here in a second when this trip goes off, and everyone's head will just spin straight back here.
Whoa!
Oh, holy.
Holy X Games mode.
Just hops over it.
Randy's just better. Ends up getting that 180 on the KHANARTIST too. 2 more players remaining. DimSum Boy. We saw some sparks from him earlier, from the Sheriff.
Yeah.
Wasn't able to find more, but
30 seconds left.
Hunter's Fury, 30 seconds left. I don't think the Hunters is gonna delay enough. Depends on when they end up getting on site.
So BlackHeart, it's about getting a gun upgrade, to be honest.
Ooh. Yeah.
You can give a frag over it. At this point, it really doesn't matter. It's about just not even economic damage, the way that Oxygen's economy has been built up over these last few rounds.
Patience from pwny, I love it.
It's Pat statting here for BlackHeart, seeing what he can find, but they're not giving him anything. BlackHeart, last attempt here for But Silk Road, we're going into this next round with an 8-1 deficit. It's Silk Road it's a Silk Road who give up the B site and are playing the 5-on-5 retake. They've already posted up Shock Dart and the Hunter Fury from Verno, and that is a lovely trade from Skuba.
And a wonderful peek from pwny too. Doubling up after the first peek, but here comes at least a bit of help in terms of the Hunter's Fury. But it has to be this peek here.
And they're playing
From
double
the
lineups
Viper.
here as well. This is awful to play against.
Fletcher has to do everything here. The wide swing from Fletcher gets nothing. BlackHeart does get the kill, but it's a 1v2 against a Hunter's Fury and a couple snake bites. It's an impossible scenario. BlackHeart has to walk away. Another big one from Oxygen. Only one gun being saved up. I mean, you saw the money. Their Breeze being dominant, it's back. Their Ascent being dominant, that was back too. Alright, this is close, but... Oxygen now going real close. It's actually randyySAVAGE with a random pick in the back of sight, but there's still two here to actually fight. MonSi does try to get something, but there's nothing to try to get information here. The Silva is a bit too far away and a bit too late on a recon. Finally, some shocks and some pushes into the back line. They're gonna get all of this information. Both players are here. KHANARTIST is gonna get spotted through the cage, and they're both gone. A massive opportunity for the Silk Road. They have
A solo look down towards him. A last-ditch effort really off of the flash. But it doesn't find anything. And Oxygen are welcoming that kind of aggression. A rework back in towards Ub, where they think Oxygen have taken space, but they haven't just yet. And Oxygen are cautious of it. They've pinged it already.
Ooh, they got the cross. Here we go. Khan looking. Skuba's gonna have the cross, and Skuba gets 2-3 again! Holes is all his! Silk Road, they try to give themselves a chance, and Skuba shuts them all down. Oxygen. 4v1 to close out the half.
Planted.
Good luck, Fletcher.
Have you ever heard of the clutch of Fletcher in the fourth? He gets 3, right? He gets 3.
Oh my god.
He pops the Viper's pit and they win the round. Watch this.
I watched all, yeah, I should. Even though this A site hold is actually a bit weak.
Quick TP as well already set from pwny. I mean, I think that's one of the beauties of a Yoru on this map and one we didn't really consider. How quick rotations can be just with pwny's teleport. And he can be there so fast on the A site. Or he can just stick towards B, which he's elected to do. 3 players here. And with the setup they had, they were already playing kind of passive towards A. And they put more focus here towards B. No trips, just a cage here on B to try and support, along with the camera.
They hear that camera too.
But they don't hear any noise. It could just be one
At
to
all.
check. So they can't confirm anything, so that's why they've just held their positions.
And finally goes the wall, though. That's the tell. It's 3 players here, but do they have any idea that it's actually 3? Do they see the site? But randyySAVAGE finally getting some taps in, but pwny from the back getting the crossfire. All 3 players still alive here for Oxygen. Make it only 2 now, though. Big flash coming out to try to isolate 1, but Dim Sum Boy actually somehow stays alive from that. 9 HP, has to dance, but he's gone. Oxygen 1 round away from challengers.
Match point.
With everything on the line for Silk Road, this is the do or die round.
That goes there.
And Oxygen, buy to your heart till your pockets are empty here, because it's just one more play. And it's 4 Stingers and a Sheriff that the Silk Road have to work with. And they're Hail Marrying it into the B site. And it might just be the right call. Only pwny here. As Randy is the only other line of support. And we'll see if Silk Road can keep us off of that 13th round for Oxygen. It feels just so inevitable. pwny, decoy out. We'll see who takes the bite. Nobody has just yet.
Here we go. Big flash. Actually, pwny has to walk away. Still 2 players in the back, but they completely isolated them with the 1 wall.
Spamming that corner. Verno, shock dart as well to look for some. Bounces all the way back, actually. Second shot to find damage, and it's a frag as well. 5v3, Oxygen Esports are knocking on the door. And with 1 more to go, Dim Sum Boy just in the corner, and there you have it. Your 3rd team to qualify for challengers in the open qualifiers. It's Oxygen Esports in dominant fashion of 13-1.
Defenders win.